Good morning, YouTube. It is 75 degrees in the workshop, and it is 7 o'clock in the morning and a little blurry. And if we look at what we're doing today, we are going to come over to this corner where all this scrap wood is, and we are going to attempt to make a bowl out of it. So this is something I used to do when I first got into woodworking. I used to take boards from fence posts or pallets and then cut them down into squares, glue them up, and make a really cool bowl out of them. So I didn't want to throw away all this scrap wood, and I am super guilty of not wanting to throw away wood. Even though you're never going to use it, it sits in the corner forever, and I needed to do something with this wood because it's just taking up space. So I decided, you know what, let's make a pallet bowl and then throw the rest away. So that's what we're doing here. As you can see, we're just gluing up everything. Don't be stingy with your glue. Get everything in the vices and just do a nice cool squeeze out of all that glue. About 2 days later, come over, throw it on the lathe, and see what we kind of get out of it. So the great thing about working with pallets or working with fence posts is that the wood is usually really cheap. And not only financially cheap, it is structurally cheap. Sorry, it's super early in the morning when I'm doing this commentary. And it's not the best material to kind of work with. So as you'll see here in this video, as much as you think things are going well just watching me turn this wood down, there's going to be so much tear out on this video. And it's not so much chip out, it's tear out. So it kind of just shreds instead of just chipping out the way it needs to. Because a couple of things, this wood is not very good material. Two, the wood is wet, it's damp, and that really eats up against the chisels when you're starting to get into the projects a little bit later. But essentially all I'm trying to do is make a cool little bowl out of it. And you can see there just by looking at the grain of the wood, it's so damp, it's just tearing off against the chisels. So I get everything into a nice little bowl shape here. Obviously I'm like, okay, just pretty basic, nothing too fancy. And then we flip it over, and now we're going to start the actual gouging portion of it here once we get everything nice and flat. And this, we make two bowls. So this first bowl goes, fairly smooth. The chip out or tear out is not nearly as bad. But we start gouging it out. I can feel it up against the chisels that, the wood is just so soft, and it's just mostly because it's damp. And if you go to like Lowe's or Home Depot and you get the pallet wood or the fence post off the bottom, you can definitely tell that, it's moist, it's damp. It's not the best material because this is supposed to just be junk fence wood that you're going to put outside. But it's not designed for what I'm doing with it here. So that first bowl we get done, and then we start the second sandwich here. So taking some hot glue, taking a waste block, and then we'll just, flip that over, put that onto the lathe as well. So this one goes much worse because it was the same fence post, so I don't understand what the problem was. It was really, really wet. I could tell by just taking material off. You can see all the tear out there in the beginning. Just looks really frayed, and it looks just junky altogether. I'm like, there is no way I'm going to be able to salvage this bowl. And initially I thought with this second bowl that I wouldn't even finish it because it just was so horrible looking. And I'm like, okay, let's just play through and see what we get. When I started to make the mortise, that's when I really thought there's no way this is going to work out because this stuff is like cutting like grass. It's just fraying everywhere. It's just making a mess. Yeah, the mortise fits and the chuck will work, but like the material itself is kind of just like disintegrating. So I'm like, okay, well maybe we just won't sand it. So we get it flipped over, get that glue off, and then just like, okay, just play through. You don't have anything else going on. Let's just get this done. So then we start the actual gouging portion of it here, and I mean you can just see how quickly it's just eating through that material because it's so damp. Usually you get like these cool nice shavings, but this is just, it's like the back of the mower. It's just grass. It's just coming through. And I'm like, this is the ugliest bowl I have ever made. But pallet bowls can be fun, but I vow that this will be probably one of the last pallet bowls I do for a very long time. So once we got everything finished and like gouged out, I tried to like save this thing by like sanding it. We're using 50 grit sandpaper here, and it's working in some spots, but it's not working in all of the spots because it's just so messy. And you can see here, it's just dust. It's not even shavings. You're supposed to get good wood shavings. This is after I sanded everything. It just looks horrible. But we got 2 bowls out of it. I'll probably put some paper clips in it. You can just see here I am just trying to bring it back to life. But the tear out is so bad, I can't even get all that wood wax into those little nooks and crannies because it's so just splayed out and everything. So I'm like, no amount of lipstick on this pig is going to fix it. It probably would have looked cool had it not done that, but unfortunately not everything goes the way that you plan in woodworking. So I just decided to cut my losses and just, put 1 coat on and just call it a day. But project's finished. It's just not my best work. And you know what? If you're a woodworker out there and you're hoarding wood, just throw it away. Don't save it in the corner. It's just taking up space for other things you could be doing. So just a little bit of advice from one woodworker to another. But bowls overall look pretty bad. But hope you guys liked it. Hope you got something out of it. And hopefully the next one's better. And I'll see you. Peace. Alright, so project is done. And these are the 2 ugliest pallet bowls I have ever made in my life. That is a big reason why I got rid of all that wood in the beginning, because I just don't want to deal with it. Old woodworker me 5 years ago would have kept every piece of scrap. But, I mean, they're cool bowls. Don't get me wrong, you can still do something with them. But pain in the ass to do anything with. Just junk wood. And we did make something out of it, but these are the 2 ugliest pallet bowls I've ever made. And the cleanup is not worth it at all. But project is done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I am going to stay away from pallet bowls for a while. I still have a little bit of scrap over here in the corner. Woodworkers, please throw away that junk wood. Don't keep it. I was guilty of doing that. Junk is junk. Throw it away. But anyway, hope you guys liked it. Hope you got something out of it. Hopefully it was at least entertaining. It's a lot cooler, obviously. I'm wearing a hoodie in the garage right now. But anyway, we'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace.